Alright, hey there cowpokes. Back to the Wild West here. So, since I recorded the last video, I moved these guys a little bit. I had adjusted this up. I'd evened out the spaces between the magic bookshelves at the top here and the treasure bookshelves below. I also adjusted my gingerbread bookshelf and the assorted other random bookshelves, the retro bookshelf and the just straight bookshelf. These guys I've adjusted as well. I lined it up so it's got the same distance between the treasure bookshelves and the magic bookshelf and the retro. Okay, so I'm going to start looking at objects that I can use to get rid of some of this stuff. Start dropping as much as I can out of my inventory here. Basically, the idea is that right now we got Nexus on, and that means that I have to keep my inventory empty, otherwise I can't buy any new items. I have, I think, about 300 or 400 objects right now. When I started this build, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 143, and then I picked up everything that was dumped in that pile over there. So I have my work cut out for me. I kind of need to drop all this stuff immediately. So I'm gonna probably not do everything I would in a normal build. For instance, I don't believe I have either horizontal wall or fences to finish these guys off up here. Normally I would cap that. Let's have a look and see if I have a fence. Yeah, see, I only have Gothic fence, which is not good for that, and I have the turtle shell fence of 2 I have. And I think if I search for a wall, I don't have anything yet, no walls. So I can't really cap those off. I will probably do it later. So once Nexus is closed, I will come back through and touch some stuff up, but it'll be something where like I'll have horizontal walls or maybe crypt fence. One of the two will go up in this section right here, just to make it look a little bit more complete and clean. Same here, and it will overlap this little cactus nicely and give a feeling of depth. This cactus right here, this little tiny nib that's poking out, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it'll be something. We'll have to keep something there and clean it up. Okay, so I'm going to see if I have some more bookshelves in here. I have bookshelf, I have kitty bookshelf. I think those are the ones. And corn bookcase and treasure bookshelf. I'm certain I have another treasure bookshelf somewhere, but I think these kitty ones are going to have to do. Okay, so I will put these guys here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to invert this. So I have 1, 2, 3 units between. But what I'm going to do is instead of having it come up the middle, I'm going to create the opposite here. So because I have, I think it's 4 or 6 of these bookshelves left, I'm going to clean it up in such a way where these bookshelves come into the middle here. Looking good. And I'm going to put the kitty bookshelves flanking them. Okay, so I have this guy here. I have 3 more. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 6 of them total. So 6 total is probably going to mean it's going to be a full row down here. Maybe I'll keep this down a little further. And see what I can do. How far is 6 going to go is the question. If I have 6 of these measured across. Okay, so I'll tuck it into the kitty bookshelf there. And keep these guys parallel. Oh, too many bookshelves. What's going on? Okay. Next one's coming along here. Oh, somehow this is a different layer. That one's layer 0. Is this one layer 1? Yeah, this one's layer 1. Wow. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so if I keep up with this, it's going to go all the way across. I don't really want it to. I think that's as far as I want to go across there. So I'll pull 2 more of these out. And I'll place this one similarly. And I think that's perfect. Look at that. It lined up just absolutely perfectly. It's the same edge on both sides with 4 bookshelves. Okay, so this guy's layer 1. This guy's layer 0. This is also layer 1. You can see because there's an overlap. If it's on layer 0, that overlap just disappears. Okay, so now I've got my desert book repository. Pretty happy with that. Got a little fire pit going over here. Got a couple of more bookshelves, which I'm kind of at odds with. Let's leave them up on the cliff and see what happens. I might come up with a use for these, but I don't know. I basically just want them out of my inventory. I might even replace them or keep them positioned on top of another bookshelf just to keep them out of my inventory right now. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do. You know, keep your stuff empty. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my bricks instead. So I have, I think, 143 strange bricks. Brick. There, strange brick. Oh, 102. I must have used some. So if I keep these guys on top, what's it gonna look like? It blots that guy out completely if I keep it where I want to. That might be perfect. That little cactus has just disappeared. It's excruciatingly slow. Yeah. I don't know why that's so slow. It takes so much time to duplicate. Anyways, I think that's the solution. Maybe if these guys are layer 1, I can actually, yeah, I think that's the way to go. If I put this to layer 1, I can move these down 1. And I think that's that's gonna look way better. I like that a lot. Because ooh, in fact, you know, because there's a number that's an odd number, I can actually do this. If I don't lag out. Okay. Yeah, so I can put these guys down here like this. If I'm not cheating, I'll actually throw these up on a multiple layer. I'll show you what that looks like if I throw that up with the shadow underneath it there. I'll dupe one up. So I take 2 on the left, and then I put the duplicated one up on the right-hand side there. And it's creating a shadow right now, but what will happen is basically players will be able to walk through that in behind there. It's a proper crenellation, as opposed to just having it be static. Like if I keep it like this, I won't be able to cross through on the right-hand side one. If I walk up here as a player, though, now I'll be able to walk into that little shadow section. I can walk behind this guy. And that won't make much of a difference on this level, like this layer here where I'm walking. But if I come down to this one and I want to walk in between, it will make a lot of difference in the way that the look and feel of the environment is. Is that the right word? Oh, excuse me. Is that the right word, environment? I think so. Okay, so I'll do the same thing here just for giggles. And I can actually just get away with putting 1 there, I think. Oh. Click that guy. Move. Nope. That's because I'm down too far. I can't do. I have to keep 1 more. So yeah, as usual, you know, the bricks kind of come in the clutch. Whatever it is that you really want to accomplish, you can probably find a way to use the bricks to do it. It's something where they're just so versatile, and there's so many little tricks with them. As you build, as you get more big bricks, I mean, I really recommend it. Spend the time to get the bricks, or if you're super, super lazy, go and buy Lego bricks, but they don't look the same. The strange brick, plumber's brick, weird brick, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of different names. Basically, they're really worth picking up as many as you can. If you get them while you're looting, always convert them. I made the mistake not to. I'm only at like 100 and something. I think I've got 170 or something total right now, but I would have been twice or three times that if I had just dedicatedly picked them up. I actually stopped at 100 for a while, and then I realized that no, that's a mistake. I want more. There's some build stuff that I wanted to do that was extremely complicated with bricks, where if you create multiple layers, like you can create stacked bricks and keep the shadows in such a way where you have like almost like a roof or like a flat plane of bricks, and then at the top of that, if you walk up high enough on the screen, a disappeared like a floating brick will disappear. So if I keep a brick and I make it float, if I walk up high enough on the screen, it actually stops reading that brick that's floating. So maybe I can demo that for you here. I have to keep it down pretty far though. Let's keep it down near the bottom. I'll just show you really quickly what that looks like. So I'm going to make a floating brick, and then right beside it I'm going to do a stable brick and see if we can get that invisible effect. So basically there's a way that if you use the brick's limitations, you could make a ceiling or a blocking wall of bricks that doesn't let you see underneath it. Almost like it was like a higher layer. It doesn't let you see underneath it, and then once you walk up to a certain point on the screen, it would disappear. So you'd be able to walk into a room or into what would appear to be a little house and have it vanish. Like the roof would just vanish, so you can see inside only when you're above a certain point on the screen. So I think one more we'll put up, and then that's good for now. And I'm going to keep this other brick. I'm going to keep the second brick right beside it here, so you can see. So we have this one here that we can walk through. Technically, it's down this far on the screen, and the other one is positioned up here. So if I walk up far enough on the screen, I know it's going to disappear when I walk up past a certain point on the screen, but if I go and zoom down here, if you get up high enough, if your Y position is high enough on the screen, what will happen is that will disappear, and it has to be a big difference. Maybe if I come up here, I'll get up further. See if it goes. No, it's too close still. Anyways, there is a way to do it. I've done it before. It's something where if you play with it, there's a lot of weird stuff that you could do with bricks. One of them is you can make them disappear. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to use this in a very mundane way. Make my crenellations here instead. Maybe I should do a full session just on that, how to do the disappearing brick. I'll have to take out the whole level, rip everything out, and then put it way, way down at the bottom. Okay, and this guy's still layer 0, this one's layer 1. So throw that back up to layer 1 as well. So now, when I walk in behind here, now I've got this effect where I can kind of interact with those bricks, even though they're blocking. They're they're not physically blocking. They're just visually blocking. Okay, I got my little sitting area here. Let's add some stuff there. I'm probably not going to use binary rain in here. Oh, the cow skull. So this was actually from the Wild West Nexus too. So that's a perfect piece for this level. I got those gothic fences. That doesn't really fit here. What else? Hitching post, perfect. We'll throw a hitching post in there. The light orb, I'll grab the light orb. Log bench too. Throw a couple of those guys in there. Light show. I've loved how this has seen so much reuse recently. If you look in the current Nexus, they've got the light show popping up in there. I also bought a mall fountain. It's the shopping mall fountain. I think that this is really cool. I like to see the water features. Something that we can use to kind of tie our spaces together. Picnic lantern, pillar, potted plant, powwow drum. Oh yeah. Looks good. Got some pumpkins. I'm going to do the pumpkin by the front door there. Got another rock pet. Looks good. Samurai lamp. I like this piece. It's a little weird. Hard to use it effectively. It's got an interesting effect where it's got multiple layers on the inside here and the fire kind of comes through. But making that work properly or making it set up in such a way where it doesn't look out of place is very tough. It has an appealing look to it, but when you enter it into a level, like, it has to be in just the right position. Otherwise it doesn't look proper. Got a sword statue, straw chairs, tanuki. Supposedly, every house has a tanuki spirit. And if you treat the tanuki spirit well, then it brings prosperity to your house. I don't know what treating the tanuki spirit well entails, but I've heard legends about that. And the wanted poster also was from the original Wild West Nexus there. Okay, I'm going to throw some vases down. I'll do 4 for now. And I think that's probably a good start. I think that's good enough for now. Okay, so what do we got? What's the mixed bag? Okay, it looks like vases first. Okay, so I'm going to take these vases and keep them down here by the entrance. The reason that I like to keep the vase by the entrance is because when we come into the level, sometimes what you need is HP. Like, you want to have your health restored really quick. So yeah, if your vases are right next to the door, you can walk in, you can grab your vases, and you can kind of take off again really quick. For some reason, that vase is messing with my system. I don't know what's going on there. That spawning of that vase is messing it up. Anyways, what else we got up here? Right. Objects that open your profile when you grab them. If you're touching a furniture object when you click on it or when you tap on it, like if your character is touching the furniture, then often it will load up your character's profile instead of actually loading up the furniture. Okay, so I'm going to take my wanted poster up here. I'm going to change the settings on that. There you go, apply changes. So now anybody can grab that and then their picture appears on the wanted poster. It's pretty cool. Gonna keep my hitching post down here. I got some hay in my guild house, but I don't have it with me here. So when I do manage it, there's another vase. It's gonna mess me up when that vase spawns, I swear. And the traditional rock pet. Not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be the traditional pumpkin sign. No, not also not what I was expecting. It's messing with me, guys. I can see that horns and the skull sitting there in front of me, and it's just not showing up. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy and keep it up here. Little sneaky thing. You got blocking objects in your landscape. You can just cover them up with something cool. Nobody will be the wiser. Interactive furniture, everybody loves that. Great. Okay, so I'll keep this on this side. Keep the vases symmetrical to each other around the door there. so that when you want to walk in, grab some health, they're just sitting right there. Okay, it looks like I have another vase sitting here. Oh no, it's a pumpkin. Okay, well I'm going to keep that pumpkin beside the first pumpkin. It's amazing to see how much the art style has changed. Like this is a very old pumpkin. This is one of the first ones that we had when you used to be able to buy them. And then the newer pumpkin is so much like the coloring, the shading, the way that it's been done. Even the depth of the tone is so different than this one. This one looks like it's made of wax or something, and this one just looks so much more like an actual pumpkin. I mean, if you've seen a pumpkin, it's kind of got that matte color on the skin. Okay, so this guy, I think I want that up by the house. I want a rock beside it. And keep that up by the house. I have this is the light orb. That also will go up by the house. Okay, and I got a log bench here. My idea is to have some seating over by the bookshelves. So to keep this kind of in line with the whole thing of having like a library in the desert, we're going to have some funky wooden platforms that you can kind of chill on over here, and that's not quite symmetrical on the little funny cactus. So in fact, you know what, let's butt them right up against that little funny cactus and see what happens. I think that looks good. Wow, that really shows how that cactus works, eh? It's got such a weird collision. On the one side it bumps right out, and then on the other side it's totally flat against it. Okay, cactus, you do you. So I'm going to try and get this to be symmetrical on the visual aspect of the cactus at least. Oh, looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. Banging the drum. Oh my god, it's so slow. And that's why I don't spar. As soon as you get another player in there. Oh, yeah, the whole thing just froze. Okay, so I'm going to take this light orb up there. Yeah, I don't actually have that emote yet. There is a YouTube emote. But I'm going to do the same thing that I had done previously with this up here, the light orb. Light orb you can buy in Modtown. I'm going to keep it 65. I'm going to give it a little bit wider light radius this time. And keep it up inside the cactus. 65 is still a little bright. Let's go down to 55. There we go. Looking good. I'll keep it at the top of the cactus up there. I love how the lighting effect actually accentuates the actual pre-existing shading on the cactus. Looks pretty cool. And there we go. Okay, so I got these like, it almost looks like mud brick bookshelf casings here. I'm pretty happy with that, the way that turned out. It looks really cool. I wish there was like a sandstorm or like a dusty wind area of effect that you could have go on. So far there isn't. Something that would be like mimicking like the wind or some dust flying around, like some dust devils or something. I think that would be pretty cool to see. Okay, so I'm going to take these bricks here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take that off camera so you guys don't need to see it. Basically, I'll throw all the bricks along here, keep them up here as well. Might readjust them, might not, depending. I might also throw some up on this ledge if I have enough. This guy here is going to go... I want to keep it right in the grass, but I don't think that that's applicable. Yeah, that's okay. It looks a little square now. I think maybe the brick is also impacting that. Maybe we'll keep it right alongside this rock here. Looking good. Hoo-yah! Just freezing after freezing after freezing here. Perfect. Okay, great. Awesome. Super happy with that. That's starting to really shape up. I like the way that the level flows. I'm disabling this pet's movement so he can walk around in the house. Oh yeah, and then there's that one great big sign. Let's throw the sign in there and then we're done. I got that one sign. This was from Alice in Wonderland in the storybook Nexus. So I'm going to keep that up beside my cactus up here. And it looks totally like something that you would see in the desert, except for this green hedgy bit down here. And you can still walk up that way just as much as you could. And there's a little sign there. That is restrictive, though. Instead of it being open. So maybe I'll keep it one up. But then these darn cactuses are so messy that they're showing up in a different way. Oh, and that was always going to be restrictive anyways. Too bad. Too bad. The sign has to come down. Keep it here and see what happens. Can I walk behind there? No. Oh, no. Okay, so what I will have to do is I'll have to keep the sign here. Keep it there dedicatedly. And I'm going to move these bookshelves here down. Give it one or two. Give it two and see how that works. Because really what I'm looking at, I mean, I've seen all these code shops that have come up. Lots of players, if you look on the season, like the leaderboard stuff. If you look in the leaderboards, these guys are, I mean, 9 out of 10 of the leaderboard guys are, you know, players with less than 1,000 hours for the most part. And they're like, okay, so here's a guild house, you know, or here's my house. What do I have? I've got, you know, 1,500 boxes. I'm just going to throw them in there and make a code shop. Or that castle layout. I'm sure if I go into this guy's house, it's a castle layout with, you know, here's another one, Guerra, and it'll be Guerra do Tobaga, and it's the Brazilian box wars, right? And it's all over the place. Most of what you see when you look at the top, like the top 50 or whatever, is going to be the same thing. It's almost identical. Like the majority of these layouts are going to be exactly the same thing. And I actually lose traction on this list by building. Like you can see that I'm number 23. And when I'm building on this list, it's like if I sit on the side of the road with exactly the same layout as I had last month, and just advertise 24 hours, then I'll get up in the top 5. But if I come in here and I build something creative and interesting and, like record or whatever, it actually loses me traction because people don't go in the house to see it, right? It's like they're not actively going in the house. So the way to win the housing game is basically to go and stand on the corner and advertise your house as much as you possibly can, instead of building something that's creative or interesting or interactive or whatever it might be. Which is sad. I mean, it is kind of unfortunate that is what it's degraded into. But I think that's also because there's the likes, the likes that have been set up, instead of having some kind of a rating system or some kind of a limitation on how many times somebody can like a house in a month, like in general. I'd proposed several different options to the staff team in the forums, but I think over time it's kind of been pushed by the wayside. There's other development that's more significant. Things are a little bit more important when you look at the regular development, the stuff that's going on in relation to special events, or stuff that we've seen come and go. And not knocking it. I mean, there's definitely some warranting. What's the word? Not warranting. There's definitely some merit in having stuff like that 10th anniversary, the glitch fest that happened. That was so cool, right? But when it comes at the detriment of other systems that are in the regular gameplay, it kind of makes you question what's actually the priority, or what's the most, oh, excuse me, important. Right, what's the thing that you need to be doing to maintain the game as a whole? And that's 100,000 different things that are going to come into play there, and I can't begin to understand. But yeah, as a player who likes the house stuff, I want the house stuff to be better. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with these bricks, and I will see you guys next time.